What's going on, Mason? What's going on, George Mason University? What's up, George Mason University? What's going on, George Mason University? We're back. Super Bowl! Vandy Bernard.
I'm Perry Buckley.
Lindsay Hokinson.
And I'm DeMonte Shaw.
How's it going, George Mason University? Welcome back inside the press box. I'm Vandy Bernard.
I'm Tyler Byram.
I'm DeMonte Shaw.
And with us, we have a special guest. We have the Patriot himself. Patriot, how you doing? That's good, that's good. Glad to have you on the show. You ready to kick things off? Awesome, great. All right. Let's start things off right here. Of course, with athletes, all the hard work that they put in, of course, they also have to still keep on top of their grades, and the softball team is very evident of that from last season, the 2012-2013 season. Our softball team was named the 2012-2013 National Fast Pitch Coaches Association All-Academic Team. It's a mouthful right there, but congratulations to the softball team for the honor. And 10 individuals had student awards and were named the 2012-2013 Division I All-American Scholar Athletes by the NFCA, and that's by keeping a GPA of 3.5 or higher. So definitely big ups to all of you guys. And the current members that were crowned those scholar athletes are Christina Gabriel, Angela Moran, sorry if I messed it up, but definitely big props, Mary O'Connor, Emily Simon, and Sarah Solano. So definitely congratulations to you ladies and all that you guys have done, and keep up the great work, not only on the field but in the classroom as well, representing Mason, representing the Patriot as well. What do you think about that, Patriot?
Yeah. Speak up a little bit. Okay. Yeah.
I agree. Awesome. Awesome work, and Patriot agrees as well. And then we'll shift things over to wrestling as well, and Sahid Carbo doing his thing. Last year he had a freshman record of 19-14 of overall record in his freshman year, so definitely an impressive record. And he'll be representing Mason at the NWCA All-Star Classic coming up on the first weekend in November. He'll be competing in a prelim match, and so he's definitely going to be representing the Mason Patriots as well. And so far he leads the team with 4 major decision wins this season so far. And also he had a big summer as well. He represented the U.S. in the 2013 Junior World Championships in Sofia, Bulgaria. So it's over there, overseas. Breaking necks.
Breaking necks.
Breaking necks. I was gonna try to add on to it, but I'll leave it there. Breaking necks, but definitely Sahid doing his thing, and just keep up the great work. I mean, as a freshman last year, just 19-14 record, you only know he's gonna continue to go up. So definitely we're gonna look for big things from Sahid coming up, and the entire wrestling team as the season gets underway.
Yeah, last year I think he was one of 2 Mason Patriots that had a winning record. He was the freshman on the team.
Yeah.
So I mean, that already showing that leadership.
Exactly.
Good for him. Yeah.
Exactly. And you can just imagine what he's gonna do, coming up, and he's just gonna only get better too as time goes on. So should have looking forward to a great sophomore year.
He's a cool guy.
He really is. Thank you, Captain Obvious, once again. But yeah, Sahid is a cool guy. Definitely you see him around, he's always, always got that smile on his face, always chilling, willing to say hi and talk to you. So definitely, make sure you support him and the rest of the wrestling team coming up. And of course, we would be remiss if we didn't mention what's coming up. In just only a few days away, coming up, Mason Madness 2013. We're excited. The Patriots excited, as you can see. Control yourself, Patriots.
Wait, is Paul Hewitt hiding in that Patriots?
Is he right?
I can't tell.
Was he in there? We're good? Okay.
He's in there.
Alright. And, have the fun we had last year, and of course, as Tyler mentioned, Paul Hewitt coming out the Patriot costume.
It's not expecting that.
Not at all. Anybody was.
He's got some moves.
He does. Definitely brought the intensity and fire to Mason Madness to kick off the basketball season, and we know this year is only going to get better.
Turn up, man. Turn up. We're going big.
We are. We're going real big, and it's going to be a kickoff to our first season in A10, and so definitely Mason Madness is going to be big. We're excited,
Mm-hmm.
of course, and we're all going to be there. We're gonna be hosting it. Tyler's gonna be hosting it with Tyler TNT,
Yeah.
and the press box is gonna be there. You know, we're gonna be getting you hyped before Mason Madness, so you're gonna come into Mason Madness already hyped and ready to go. And it's gonna be a great night. It's gonna be a great evening and wonderful time of events.
Yeah.
I guess what are the things that you guys are looking forward to, and anything in particular that you guys might be?
Well, I'm in the green machine, so I kind of know what's going on already, what some of the plans are, and I'm just
Top secret.
yeah.
Oh,
they're
top secret info.
pulling out all the stops. Song this year for the green machine is gonna absolutely amazing. It's gonna bring the house down in the very beginning, and it's just gonna get better from there. Urbanology is gonna be great. The dance team's gonna be great. Cheerleader's gonna be great, and then of course. Then there's the basketball team, of course. So
Got a good lineup.
yeah, it's going to be very well. It was very well thought out.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the energy. Like, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I love to be high energy. So I love feeding off of other people's
Really? You couldn't
energy
tell at all.
and just like contributing my energy and just like that environment. It's such a great feeling. It's just a rush, man. I love it. That's what I'm looking forward to. I'm gonna be crazy, so
Oh yeah.
you'll see me there.
You already know how we get on the show, so just imagine how it's going to be when we get there.
I might be shirtless. I don't know.
No.
We don't want the people to not tune in.
Hey man, I've been hitting the gym. This guy.
I workout plan, which you can find. Just contact me, Veda Bedard, Body by V, my
by
fitness
V.
program. But I digress. But I'm definitely looking forward to, just as you guys said, as you guys mentioned, and also just being around other Mason students, Mason community, and just the energy that's going to be in there. It's going to be awesome. Can't wait. It's always a jam-packed event, and it's definitely something that you're going to be definitely talk about from weeks to come, and even next year when we're rolling into the next Mason Madness. So you definitely want to make sure you're part of it. Anything you're looking forward to, Patriot? Mm-hmm. Yeah, basketball team's going to be great. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sherrod, yeah, that's probably gonna show out.
Yeah. I agree. We have a deep roster, deep bench this year. Oh, whoa! Bold prediction. What? You got us winning the A10?
Ooh.
I'll go that far.
Ooh,
I'll go that far.
Okay. You need to turn down.
But did you guys see? I think it was NBC Sports. They declared, or in their opinion, they declared the A10 not a mid-major conference anymore. They declared it one of the big ones.
Okay.
Wow, okay.
We're stepping up. I mean,
Yeah.
you look where we were last year, and now, from the CAA to the A10. So, it's definitely going to be. We definitely have a lot of things to look forward to coming up, and not only basketball, but all sports in general. And of course, this is our inaugural season, so you expect some growing pains, some time to really get accustomed to things and to the new conference, and before we actually take off. But so far it's a good turnaround, and things are only going to go up from here.
Yeah, the one thing is though about this team is that this is our first year in the A10, but they are the most experienced team in the entire. No team coming into this season, any other team in the Atlantic 10 has as much playing time as our roster. Because everyone last year, we had one senior walk on, Bryce Lewis. But he only played 2 total minutes last season. No offense to Bryce or anything, but
being honest.
but the entire team, all the we lost. Who we lost?
Trail.
Yeah, we lost for
Trail
Trail Bonds, but he wasn't one of the guys starting every week.
Yeah.
So same starters as last year.
Everybody's coming back. Yeah.
So we have one of the most experienced teams in the Atlantic 10, and it's our first season.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's true though. That's a good point. So
I might surprise some teams.
yeah. Don't sleep on Mason. Never sleep on Mason. If you do, that's your fault, because we coming.
Bang bang.
We gonna get it. Let's keep it locked right inside the press box. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back inside the press box, George Mason University. And before we get into pro sports talk segment, even though Perry's not here, we're gonna have upcoming games. Demonte retake 2 on upcoming games. We know the first time they go really too well, but he's here to redeem himself.
Here we go.
So Demonte, take it away.
I'm gonna channel my inner Perry here. Here we go. So the men's tennis team will be competing at the ITA Regionals in Virginia Tech. That's gonna be on October 17th. So that's gonna be next week. Make sure you check that out. The women's tennis team will also be competing the next day, the 18th, in the ITA Regionals at UVA. So they're getting some action in, some preseason work. Cross country will be competing in the Blue Ridge Open Friday, October 18th, and that's in Boone, North Carolina. So if you can make that, good for you. Women's volleyball will be playing VCU in Richmond Friday, October 18th. A little bit closer, if you can make that. Wonderful. But even bigger on the 18th is Mason Madness, which is right here at home. So if you can't go to North Carolina, if you can't make it to Richmond, stay home. Come to Fairfax,
You
right
better
here.
be.
And be a part of that great energy, like I mentioned before. It's going to be great. See, the women's rowing team will be competing at the Head of Charles in Boston, Massachusetts on Saturday, October 19th.
That's a drive.
Yeah, make that drive, row up there.
Row.
Wow. The softball team will be playing at UMBC, University of Mary Baldwin College, in Baltimore, Maryland.
Hey, you got what college they right?
Got it.
Binghamton.
I'm doing so good right now.
Yes, you are. You are. Keep it up. Keep it up.
Swimming and diving will be competing at Delaware against Delaware in Georgetown in Delaware. That's also on the 19th. A lot of things going on this upcoming weekend. Softball will be playing UMBC again the 19th, so I'm guessing it's a tournament that they'll be hosting up there in Maryland. So if you can't catch the first day, you can catch the second day. Women's soccer will be playing versus Richmond right here at home Saturday, October 19th. So if you don't go to Maryland, you can stay here and watch the women's soccer.
What time's that game?
That game is at 7 p.m.
Oh yeah.
Saturday,
Be
October
there.
19th. Be there.
Demonte with some easy school names there.
Yeah. Nothing. Really. What is that? Go
Um,
Patriots, right? Go
men's,
Patriots.
men's golf will be competing against ODU at the Outer Banks Intercollegiate Golf thing. October 20th, that's on a Sunday. They're going to be out there in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, with the Wright brothers. Women's volleyball will be competing at George Washington Sunday, October 20th. That's also the 20th, as I mentioned. And another thing on the 20th is men's soccer will be playing VCU here. So, at 7, Sunday, October 20th.
Already looking for that game.
Yeah.
It's gonna be big,
Yeah,
but
that's all I got.
good job.
What
Good
about you,
job.
Justice Perry?
Good job with upcoming games. You didn't mess up this time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's because George was telling me what to say in my ear.
Yeah. I mean, we can see George's a big influence helping you out. He's trying to keep your VCU bias under wrap.
What VCU bias?
But anyways, transitioning. Closet VCU fan. Transition over, of course, we have the MLB playoffs definitely in full swings. We got the NLCS championship and the ALCS championship. And so Tyler's going to run off the starting rotations that have been announced so far.
Yeah, right now, basically the American League, they basically released all their starters for the first 4 games. For the Tigers in Game 1, it'll be Sanchez versus Lester. So, obviously, Lester will probably get the nod in that one.
Mm-hmm.
But then a very interesting matchup in Game 2, it's Matt Scherzer versus Clay Buchholz.
Ooh.
That's going to be interesting.
Yes,
And I
yes,
want-
indeed.
And one thing with this, everyone was like, why isn't Verlander number 1 and Buchholz and Pfister, why aren't they up there at the top?
Mm-hmm.
But it's because Detroit, they had to play a game last night.
Exactly.
So Verlander started Game 5 against the Athletics.
He needs his rest.
So yeah, he needs his full 4-day rest,
Mhm.
or however long, 4 or 5 day rest,
Mhm.
however long he chooses before he gets back into the swing of things. So it causes some very interesting matchups. Like in Game 3, then Verlander's coming in against Lackey, and you would think Verlander would be the guy that you would expect to come out with the win, but Lackey there with Game 3, he could shock some people.
Mhm.
And then Game 4, Jake Peavy versus Pfister. Again, that's going to be another interesting matchup. It's not something that you would expect. It's not ace versus ace, but it's like ace versus semi-ace. So that's what a lot of the games are going to be like on the American League side. And then it's going to be the very same in the National League. Wainwright, again, pitched 2 nights ago in the Pirates game. So he got pushed all the way to Game 3, and the Dodgers haven't announced a starter for Game 3 because Greinke is starting Game 1, and then Kershaw is starting Game 2, and that's against Kelly, I think it's Jake Kelly, in Game 1, and then Wacha for the Cardinals. He's only started 5 games this season for the Cardinals, and he's starting in Game 2 of the NLDS.
No pressure.
I'm facing that guy.
Right?
Like
I mean, it is the Cardinals, though, so
Yeah.
all they need is David Freese
Right?
hit it over the wall.
I mean, the Cardinals has been a model of consistency, over and over again. It doesn't matter who they lose. I mean, Pujols belting and taking the money with the Angels, and the Cardinals are still back in this position.
They got rid of him at the right time, apparently.
Yeah,
Look at his
exactly.
numbers.
True. They knew what they were doing. And so let's do a little over-under. We'll do the NLCS first, but over-under 5 games that the NLCS last.
Over, definitely.
Mhm.
I mean, 2 great teams. Honestly, I would love to see either one of them make it to the World Series. Dodgers have been the best team in baseball since June. I mean, Cardinals won the World Series 2 years ago. Again, stacked roster top to bottom. Even though there's some of them are like no names that people don't even know, but you look at the stats, it's just like, how have I not heard of this guy? Because he's sitting there with like 20 home runs and almost 70 RBIs. I mean that's literally like every guy in the roster. So it's just 2 great teams, and unfortunately one of them has to lose.
Yeah.
So definitely +5, over 5.
Yeah, I agree. Also, I think it's gonna be a great series. I think it's gonna go the distance. Maybe come down to that final Game 7. But I agree with you. It's gonna be an awesome series. Definitely. Definitely, if you're a hardcore fan of baseball, even a casual fan. I mean, I myself have really started to get into it. I'm gonna be watching, and I look forward to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over as well. I'm a bit of a lackadaisical fan, but I watched snippets of the Tigers and the A's last night, and I'm like, oh man, this is like pumping. I couldn't even study because I was watching it. But yeah, I'm gonna go over 5, and I like the Dodgers. Plus, I know their roster, so. Puig. And their owner, Magic Johnson. So I like them.
All right, and let's move over. Oh, Patriot. You got. He was like, I'm not leaving you out. I'm sorry. You got over 2. Okay.
He's got.
All right. My bad. I got you, man.
You got you.
Uh,
Look at him
Don't
holding back.
want to make him angry.
Look
Yeah,
at
I
him holding
know.
the bag.
We know how angry you can get. All right, and we'll also switch over to over under for the ALCS between the I'm trying to blank Tigers and Red Sox. Between the Tigers and Red Sox, over under 5 games for that series.
I'm not sure. I feel like it can go either one or 2 ways. Either the Red Sox are just going to come out and shut out the Tigers, or Tigers are going to make it go full distance and win. I don't think there's any in between. But is there any way I can say right at 5 games?
Sure.
Even.
All right.
Not over, not under. I'll say even, and Red Sox come out on top.
Okay. And talking to Perry yesterday, P-Buck reference. But talking to Perry yesterday, Perry mentioned for this series, you're talking about the Tigers pitching versus the Red Sox bats. So can the Tigers and their pitching, their crew pitching, be able to silence the Red Sox and their bats? As great as their pitching is, I mean, they have to come up with unbelievable games. But I also think the Red Sox, as being a top team in baseball, just consistency throughout the season, and you just see it's just amazing just where they were last year to where they are now. But I think the Red Sox will advance to the World Series. I think I might have to, let's say 6 games. See Red Sox taking a 6.
It's amazing to see where the Red Sox are.
Yeah.
I mean, at the beginning of the season, everyone was like, this could be like the first season since like the early 1900s that neither the Yankees or the Red Sox made the postseason. And I mean, that's something that you never hear in baseball.
Yeah.
Either the Yankees are the favorite or the Red Sox are the
Exactly.
favorite.
It's one or the
And,
other.
well, once again, the Red Sox,
Yeah.
#1 team, favorite again, in my opinion.
I'm gonna go under. I'm gonna say shutout by the Red Sox.
Complete sweep, bringing up the brooms.
Yeah. I like Perry saying I like Boston's hitting. Big Poppy over there, and yeah, that's all I got. But I will be watching to watch what happens this time.
All right. Patriot, shoot, what you got? What you got? Little son.
It's deep.
Uh,
He says Boston
okay,
because they have Patriots up there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Good answer. Good answer. All right, and so definitely baseball full swing, and we're gonna definitely keep in tune with that and see where our predictions kind of go and see who advances to World Series. And now let's talk about the Minnesota Lynx WNBA Finals. Of course, played the Atlanta Dream. Definitely have to first give shout out to the Dream. This was their third consecutive trip to the WNBA Finals. Just kind of like the Buffalo Bills, just making it over and over again. We can't win. And that stretch, Atlanta's 0-9 in the finals, so they've been swept each year. So I don't know. I mean, it's good that you made it there, but
Gotta show up once
you
you
gotta
get there.
show up. We didn't win a game, but that's another time for another time. We want to say congratulations to the Minnesota Lynx, who have won their second title in 3 years. Dynasty.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm gonna say. I mean, like, ever since 2010, 2011, I think it was when they drafted Maya Moore, completely turned the team around. They were bottom of the league in basically every category: wins, losses. Well, the only thing that matters is wins and losses, but stats even. But then they draft Maya Moore, and all of a sudden, like, past 3 years, they've been the number one team in the West. No one's been able to beat them. They've gone to 3 straight WNBA finals. Last year they lost to the Indiana Fever, of course. But, I mean, when they won 2 years ago, I mean, the MVP then was Simone Augustus. I don't know if you guys remember her in LSU.
Yeah.
And then this year, Maya Moore got the MVP award. So,
Love me some Maya Moore. Back to her UConn days, just destroying teams, and it's good to see her still continuing that winning legacy into the WNBA.
Yeah.
I think we were saying before, it goes back to her high school and how much of a winner she was then. Winning 2 championships with her high school team in the actual arena she won this past championship in. So it's just great. I mean, Maya, I'm out here looking. I ain't never found a woman like you, so.
Oh my gosh.
anyways, back to the Lynx.
Yeah, back to the Lynx.
Yeah.
But they've done something that not many teams in the history of sports have done. I mean, you can go back into, they became, let me just say this right now, they became 1 out of 5 teams to go undefeated in the postseason, but excluding football, because of course you have to go undefeated to make the Super Bowl. But and that's in modern times. Like early in the 1900s, when you only need like 4 games to win like the Stanley Cup or something. I mean, those don't count. But I mean, in like the Red Wings in the 50s, they went 8-0 once. Canadians in the 60s went 8-0. Cincinnati Reds, they won 7 games in a row to make the World Series and win it. And then the 4th team, also another WNBA team, in 2010, the Seattle Storm, they ran the table, won every single game in the playoffs. So
that's hard to do.
Yeah.
I mean, and no matter what sport it is, I mean,
Yeah.
WNBA is starting to creep up there.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this season, I was reading somewhere more sellouts in the season than the WNBA. Well, like relative to how many games they have in the WNBA than in the NBA, which is actually surprising when you think about it.
Yeah.
They come up.
Yeah.
Sold out every single game in the WNBA finals. In the playoffs, I think there was only like 4 games total that weren't sold out.
Oh wow.
And then, of course, I think Phoenix, Chicago, and Minnesota, they sold out every regular season home game this year.
Amazing.
And
Yeah.
WNBA, I mean,
It's
they're growing.
It speaks to the growth in our society, really.
Mm-hmm.
Just being able to start to treat women's sports, I wouldn't say it's not equal yet, but like they're getting more respect that they deserve.
more
'Cause
recognition.
those girls can ball.
Oh yeah. I mean, you watch those games. I mean, it's definitely very entertaining to watch. I mean, if you turn it on and you just see it's entertaining. Their athletes are playing at a high level, and it's really competitive games that you definitely want to catch, and you want to be a part of.
Yeah, I mean, women's basketball used to be known for just driving an easy layup or a jump shot over everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But then if you look at, I mean, heck, just watching the game last night, I mean, the only fact that you knew that it was women playing was that they had long hair and it said WNBA instead of NBA. I mean, that was really the only difference. I mean, they were setting pick and rolls, actual plays. Maya Moore tearing it up,
As
doing
always,
everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a sight to see.
Yeah. And you even had the Minnesota Lynx. It's late in the fourth quarter. I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but late in the fourth quarter, and it's their center. I stole the ball. She's coming down the court. She draws two defenders, and she does a between the leg pass to Brunson, and she gets an and one. I mean, you're just seeing
Monica Wright.
Yeah.
From UVA,
Yeah.
actually. She
Yeah.
graduated from UVA.
and you just see I mean, and it made SportsCenter top 10. I mean, just seeing that, just the level of competition, and the action, and the entertainment. And this year, I think this year's draft class that came in, did a real testament to helping the growth with Griner, Diggins, and Elena Deladon, and all of them coming in, and just the following that they had in college. People knew about them. They're on the national stage, shown on ESPN and major television networks, and then bringing that to the WNBA, and of course the new contracts that the WNBA have. It's like you guys are saying. It's definitely great. They're on the come up. It's on the rise.
Yeah. So over 3 championships for Minnesota Lynx.
Not one, not two, not three, not 4.
Not 5, not 6.
I mean, with this team that they have, if they can keep this, of course, you got free agency and all that, and if they stay healthy with this core group of starters and the team that they have, it's hard to see anybody beating them if they keep it. As long as you have Maya Moore.
I was gonna say keep Maya Moore.
With this team, it's hard not to see anybody taking down the Minnesota Lynx anytime right now.
I think Phoenix, a couple of years, Brittany Griner.
Yeah.
Let Taurasi and Griner get some chemistry going.
Then if Deladon gets some help in Chicago.
Yeah.
It's something to watch.
Oh, yeah.
Very
It
interesting
is,
match. Drama of the NBA, just smaller scale.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Better players are coming.
Candace Parker with the Sparks, and Emeka Gumake over there. So they got a good team, and then you also have to think about Lauren Jackson and Sue Bird. They're out for the Seattle Storm this whole year with injuries, so they come back next year. Let's see how that is. And then I made a mistake. I mentioned Atlanta Dream made 3 straight consecutive WNBA finals. Of course, that wasn't the case, as it was Indiana.
Yeah, Indiana.
Last year with Minnesota. So they had made 3 out of the last 4 years. They made it to the WNBA finals, but still 0-9. But we'll talk about that another day. So let's do one football over under topic real quick. We'll call it a day. The Broncos have been tearing it up recently. They were involved in a shootout with the Dallas Cowboys. Classic game. It was a great game. I didn't expect the Cowboys to be that close. I'm gonna give them their props. This was a great game. I know Tony Romo threw that pick, and a lot of people were saying classic Romo at the end, but I mean it was just a great defensive play, more as opposed to Tony Romo making a mistake. He played an awesome game. Yeah, I said it. He played an awesome game.
Hold on, we gotta make sure that is the DVR recording. Okay. So we got this. The Redskin fan.
Tony Romo played an awesome game. He had a great game.
Me and DeMonte have probably watched this just as much, if not more than anybody. But I mean, if you look at it, you may say classic Romo, and at the time I said yes. But if you go back and look at it, first of all, when he went to throw the pass, a lineman stepped on his foot. He couldn't step up. Well, first, when his foot's being stepped on, he can't step through the pass. And then also, the line had been pushed back into him, so it's not even like he could propel his body forward to throw the ball. And then also, like you said, fantastic defensive effort.
Yeah.
But, I mean, just amazing play on his part.
Yeah.
And, I mean, not much Romo could do, especially when 2 minutes left, don't want to get the sack, pockets collapsing, you can't step through, so you just gotta go for it.
Yeah.
It's a testament to what Stephen A. says. Less of a classic Romo and more of a classic Cowboys. It's just some fluky way to lose the game. And it's just like, oh my gosh. Yeah. Like, I mean, honestly, I of course, being a fan, I believed that we would hang in there. I didn't think we were going to hang in there like that. Like 51-48, who would have thought, you know?
Hopefully we keep it up this week.
Yeah. I mean, if we could put up 48 on the Broncos.
The Redskins
Put up like 87.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Okay, I know That's as far as I'm gonna go with my Cowboys Tony Romo praise.
Okay, we did get that out of him.
You
so
got
yeah,
that
we did.
out.
Where were we at? We were talking about the Broncos.
Yeah,
or
so
something?
over under 14 wins for the Denver Broncos this season. Of course, right now they're tearing things up. Do we think they're gonna keep it up at a consistent level, but if they have, and I think what helps the Broncos is they're not gonna have things wrapped up early because of Kansas City being right there with them. So they'll still have to be playing well deep into the season to lock up that division and number one seed. But do we think that there might be some games where they have some tough games coming up later in the season? Is there games that we think people can catch them at?
I think when Peyton goes back to Indy, I'm not saying they're going to lose, but it's probably going to be closer than most people think it's going to be. But as far you said over under 14 wins.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think they're going to be able to go into Kansas City and beat the Chiefs there. Eventually, I think Kansas City's going to falter and lose a couple games. I mean, they aren't going to run the table. I mean, they don't have a chance compared to the Broncos.
Yeah.
And then just at the end of the season, I think they're going to rest. I mean, he still has. Cowboys. I mean, they hit him last week. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was some. There was some plays of the. Who was the I forgot who was broadcasting, but you heard him cringe because it was a hit close to the neck.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think by the end of the season they're going to have him sitting 2 or 3 games, and that might cause him to lose. I'm actually going under 14 games because I think they lose to Kansas City. They probably sit him and the rest of the starters in the last 2 games of the season, but I think 12, 13 wins. I think that's about where they're going to be.
Yeah, I was gonna say about at 14, but like you said, it depends on Kansas City and how well they do in keeping the pressure, competition and pressure on throughout the end of the season. But then when you said it makes sense, I believe they're gonna clinch a berth early, and I think that I think Peyton's health versus home field advantage. I think they'll take Peyton's health. So granted, they probably would have the chance to keep him starting throughout the season. I think they would rather have him in the playoffs. So I think they would probably end up sitting him. And the backup, Osweiler, I mean, he seems like a swell guy, but I don't think he's going to lead them to, a 3-0 record or a 4-0. How many ever games they get to sit Peyton? So
Yeah.
I say maybe at 12, 13 games. So I say under.
Yeah. I would say under as well. I'm going exactly 13 because, as you mentioned, Tyler, with Peyton Manning returning to Indianapolis, I think that would be a game that you can't sleep on that game. Man. Andrew Luck and the Colts are playing well right now, and I think they can definitely give the Broncos a run for their money. Indy's defense is playing. I know when we had our prediction show, I kind of not called out, but didn't really think Indy had a defense. But their defense is proving me wrong right now.
One thing about that Indy game is I don't know how Peyton's going to perform. Not many things can set Peyton off.
Yeah.
But I think going back to Indianapolis, where he spent his entire career, won his only Super Bowl ring, and 2 out of his 3 MVPs. I mean, I think it's going to be emotional for him, and I don't think he's going to perform as well. I think that'll be the one game that we see Peyton Manning is he is human because he threw an interception last week, but
I was shocked.
even more human
Yeah.
by the fact that he'll actually, believe it or not, may lose a game.
Yeah.
Because it's not like he left on horrible terms, where you come back and you're like, I want to destroy this team. It's kind of like
they still
you
love
can
him.
understand
exactly.
why they let him go. I mean, it's a pretty serious injury. You're up there in your career, why take that chance when you can get a young quarterback? So I don't think he has any resentment or
exactly.
harsh feelings. So I think, like I said, he won't come in there with that killer instinct. He'll be more emotional and just charged by the atmosphere. So I don't know, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, and then even to add on to that, Jim Irsay announced that they're going to be doing a tribute honoring Peyton beforehand. So emotions going to be running high.
They're trying to get some mind games.
Exactly. Irsay know what he's doing.
Roger Goodell should step in and stop that, but he won't.
But yeah, I think I'll say about 13 because of that game. They have New England later on this season. By then, Gronk should be back.
He's coming back this week.
He should.
Yeah,
he's supposed to. I mean. And then Amendola should be healthy by then. Should have, Shane Vereen should be back. We forgot Shane Vereen he was on a roll before he got hurt. By then he should be back. Actually, should be gearing up to come back soon. So the Patriots should have, and Tom Brady should have his full complement of weapons back. And as always, between the Patriots and Broncos, or actually between Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, is usually it's always an entertaining sight to see, a great game to watch. So I think that's a game where the Broncos they could catch the Broncos, and also, as you said, Kansas City going into Arrowhead Stadium. So I'd say about 13 games from there. What do you think, Patriot? About the same?
Oh, of course he's saying they're losing the Patriots.
Yeah, of
later
course.
on.
Yeah.
You and that Tom.
Well, I definitely didn't want to get this in because Matt. Let me get his name right because I keep messing it up. But Matt Schaub has thrown a pick six in, was it 3-4 straight games now?
I think
it's
every game.
Every game this season.
Same out.
It's the same thing. He can't throw that, but yet he continues to throw it. But Gary Kubiak, the media's been on him. Houston fans have been on it. But Gary Kubiak said if this continues, the interceptions continue, he won't hesitate benching him. So I guess they have, over under 3 more starts left in a career if this keeps up.
In the career?
In this career of Matt Schaub.
I'm definitely saying over.
Yeah, for career, yeah.
I don't know if you guys remember, but a couple seasons, I won't say a couple seasons, but a little while ago, the Texans were the 2-14 team of the league. They were the Jacksonville Jaguars. They were the team can they go 0-16? Can they be the team that never wins? Back around when the Lions actually went, or.
Yeah, they had those 2 seasons where it was.
Yeah, it was just absolutely terrible. And then Matt Schaub was the reason why they turned Matt Schaub to Andre Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Just that connection right there turned their team and the franchise around. I mean, if it wasn't for Matt Schaub, the Texans would not be where they're at. And I know T.J. Yates is a backup, and he's decent for a backup, but I don't know if T.J. Yates can be a starter. And it's just, even if Matt Schaub, I mean, I can understand him getting benched for 1 or 2 games, but I mean, T.J. Yates is not going to be able to do what Matt Schaub can do.
Yeah.
But it's just, if, say, Texans do bench him, and say they cut him later on, there's a lot of teams that will be wanting Matt Schaub.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and I'm a huge Romo fan. I'm from the Cowboys, but I mean, there's another team in Texas that wouldn't mind be picking up Matt. I wouldn't have a problem picking up Matt Schaub. As much as I love Romo. But
yeah, I definitely agree with you said with his impact on Texans, but it's what have you done for me lately league, and everyone forgets all the good things he's done. So I think for a career, I think he'll go over because, like I said, another team will pick him up. As far as for the season, I think if he goes over 3 more games, then him and Kubiak will be out of there. But if under 3, I say Kubiak keeps his coaching job, and Schaub, if he gets cut, finds a job somewhere else starting, and they'll probably just gear towards the draft and pick up. They got some good quarterbacks.
I mean, another thing. I mean, aren't they 2-3 this year?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's thrown a pick 6 every single game, but all that matters is the W.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that matters. All the interceptions that Romo's thrown in his entire career, he still wins some games. And Matt Schaub's doing the same. I mean, he throws a pick 6 in every game, but yet he still managed to win 2 of them. So I mean, I think some people are blowing it out of proportions a little bit. I mean,
think when
still a pick 6 in every game. That's something you want.
When you have the defense to cover your behind like he does, then you can still win some games. So it's like a Flacco situation, He's an okay quarterback, but the defense is great and covers that, and then he pulls up big when they need him. So hopefully, Schaub can get enough starts to be able to show that his worth.
But coming into this, I had set under 3 stars for this season, for him. But after the points you guys made, because the thing is, just as you said, Tyler, Yates is not a starting quarterback. Yeah, he's good. He can come in and fill in for you. But he's not going to start, so you're not going to get anything better if you're to bench Matt Schaub. And I think that he just has to stop. First of all, he needs to stop throwing that route. It's not working out.
Just take that
out routes. Just take it out of the playbook.
All together.
Sideline out route, and the corner always baits him in. It's always his own. It'll be the corner guard and the slot guy who'll just be waiting, and then whoop.
They study film. They always jump that route.
Time.
He just needs to cut out that route, or if that needs to be the
throw that out.
just don't throw it.
They probably didn't see that play develop, and the corners are probably like, pick six. They're like, oh, okay, it's the out pattern. Got it.
So if by now I think that should finally be recognized, just taken out of the equation. And I mean, of course, that can hurt your confidence, but I think the Texans don't have any better option at this point right now. And as you said, the only thing that matters is the win. So 2-3. The 2 games behind the Colts. They still have yet to play the Colts, so they're not out of anything yet. Not out of the division because they still have to play the Colts. But I think so. I think that I'll say over at this point. Again, as you said, I think people overreact to things. I mean, you just bring up San Francisco, and when they had their little slump, how people overreacting. Oh, 49ers on the decline. Jim Harbaugh might be losing the locker room. Please. And it.
Well, another bringing up the 49ers, another overreaction was when they benched Alex Smith for Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
They said he couldn't. Alex Smith wasn't their winning quarterback anymore. I mean,
Yeah.
look what he's doing in Kansas.
Exactly.
I mean, could this be another situation that they benched the quarterback, eventually cut him, and he goes? What if he goes to Jacksonville, brings them back, and whooping on them?
Yeah.
Miracle.
I mean,
Or
but
Tebow.
just some situations. It's probably not going to happen. I think he's going to
Yeah.
stay. But
I don't believe in Jacksonville's organization. They're pretty stupid. So.
Is it another Tebow rant?
No, not at all. That GM man, he's a.
We might have to cut things off here because
Bad
we
guy.
might never end if he goes on this Tebow rant. But George Mason University, thank you for joining us right here inside the press box. As always, we enjoy just bringing what we do to you. Of course, we want to tell you that next week our show will be from the Patriot Center for Mason Madness. Of course, you want to check us the press box on the pregame show and also TNT as well for the pregame show as well. Again, we're going to be getting you guys hyped for Mason Madness. They're coming full of energy, ready to go, ready to roar and rock the place. And when Mason Madness and the lights turn off or on, whatever the case may be, it's going down. So make sure you're there. We'll be there. It's going to be a great time. Bring all your friends out. Be ready to be entertained. And as always, I'm Vady Bernard.
I'm Tyler Byram.
DeMonte Shaw.
The Patriot. Have a good week. Keep you posted on every single thing that we do. Continue to like us on Facebook, the Press Box. Follow us at GMU Press Box on Twitter. And as always, George Mason University, press on.